Good night, everyone. Good night. Good night. Hey, Baxter. How are you? Thank you for joining. I'm just waiting for a few more persons to join on, all right? Hey, Ann. Hey, Mel. Thank you for joining. I see my mommy on live. Hi, mother. I'm just waiting for a few more persons because I want to recap on the last one that we did and then to reveal the new topic for tonight. So we're at 7:03, 7:05. We'll start. Whether we have the capacity, yes or no. Alright? Yeah. How are we doing? Is everybody okay? Keeping safe? Ensure that we're wearing our mask, sanitizing, social distance. Yes, we should. Alright. Alright, so we have another minute or some couple seconds before we start. So our persons normally at 10, 15 they would be available. But as I said, within the next minute or so, we'll start. Hey, uncle. We'll start so we can recap first and then we can take it from there. At the moment, you guys can share and like, because what we're going to discuss tonight, persons who is planning to get married, this might be helpful to them. So it would be some helpful tips towards person who is planning to get married. All right, so we're at 7:05. Let's honor our obligations, because I said at 7:05 we'll definitely hey, Nicole, we'll definitely start. All right, so first and foremost, I must give thanks to God, who is the head of our life and who make all things possible, right? Because in spite of what is going on, or despite what is going on, we still have to give thanks, right? So we ask for him to be with us throughout this session. I am Tashana Brown O'Connor. I am the owner and the operator of Ambience Boutique, along with other family members. They are not present just now, but I am the one who mainly operates, right? I am a certified wedding planner. I'm also a tourism hospitality and entertainment management degree students, bachelor's students. So I am the one that is going to conduct this live tonight on behalf of Ambience Boutique. All right. If there's any questions or concerns, just feel free to send it to us and then we'll definitely answer. So questions, I'll definitely answer the questions. Maybe throughout, I will stop and answer the questions, or afterwards, I'll definitely address all the questions. All right. Our last session, we did discuss about getting engaged and what is it that you do after you're engaged, right? And we give 10 tips, 10 points that we use, or 10 points that we normally recommend to newly engaged couple. I am going to recap on those points because what we're doing is that each point we're doing in depth. So each night will in depth based on the points that is given. So I'm just going to recap and then we can take it from there. All right, so the first one is to enjoy the moment. After being engaged, you know that, yeah, you're excited, so enjoy the moment. The second point is to talk to your fiancé. And the third point is to create a budget. That is very big. That's a large one. So you'll create a budget. And the fourth point, you narrow your date or your season, right? We also discuss choose a wedding venue, which is another point that is vital. Create wedding inspiration. So for example, photos of anything, you know, you might go to somebody's wedding and you see something that you like, jot it down, or maybe take up pictures or something like that. So create your inspiration so that can help the person who is coordinate. Hi Patrice, good night Patrice. Hello Patrice. All right, so sorry about that. So you would put down your inspirational ideas, so the planner, the coordinator, or whoever is going to conduct the event for you would have an understanding of what is it that you are interested in, or what is it that you want them to do to execute the job for you. Good night, my dear husband. Thank you for joining. All right. We also discuss choose your bridal party, because persons choosing bridal party, persons misunderstand the concept of that. So we discuss that. When we go in deep to depth at that point, then you'll get a better understanding of that. Hi Patrice, how are you, my dear? I know that you're listening for the great tips. All right. Our 8th point was to draft your guest list. That is very important. Why? Because for example, you're having a wedding for 30 people. Upon catering on the day of the event is 55 people. That's an extra 25 people. So you know you need to draft your guest list properly, and when sending out invitation, be precise. Is it one person only or +1? All right, so that was discussed. We also mention number 9, to hire your professional wedding photographer. At the end, after the wedding, the photograph is what you have. That is where memory come in place, right? So you're looking at your photograph to see what was done on the day of the event. So please hire your professional photographer. We recommend for that persons to scroll on Instagram, Facebook. They do have website. You can shop around, you know, look at the different photos and stuff like that to see who who you're willing to work with. Hi, Camille. You know, so photographer, you have many photographers out there, but for me, I believe some photographers are for parties, some are for different occasions, and that is very vital because photography is very expensive, right? So that was one of the points that we discussed as well. And the last 10, last but not least, if all else fail, hire a coordinator or a planner. I know, idea. You hire a coordinator or a planner, right? So those are the points that we did discuss at the other session. Tonight we are going to focus on talking to your fiance, right? Because persons, after being engaged and stuff like that, being excited and everything, you need to know, where are we going, right? There are a few questions. Sorry for my noise in the background. There are a few questions that you need to you guys need to sit down and discuss before you proceed, right? So talking to your fiance, yes, pop the question and ask, would you marry me? And you said yes, right? After which, what is it that you are thinking? Or are we going to proceed? So the best thing is to communicate with each other before discussing details with other person. Because he said it here tonight, that doesn't mean that you need to put it on your WhatsApp status or your Facebook. Sit down and you discuss with each other to see what is it that he's thinking, what is it that he have in mind. Good night, mother. What is it that he have in mind and stuff like that. So please bear that in mind, right? Cause all right, we also recommend, remember, there is a wedding and there is a marriage. You have the wedding is where everybody come and sit down, eat. It's a celebration. So the difference between wedding is that we gathered, we come, we celebrate, we take photos, we do this and we do that. Marriage is a union where you have to compromise, right? Things, is not everything going to go your way, it's not everything going to go his way, right? So you have to bear in mind that there's a difference between wedding and there's a difference between marriage. So don't get or misconceptualize what it is, because wedding is on the day, wedding is the day of the whole celebration, and marriage is for a lifetime. Is it that you have some question to ask yourself? Is it that, am I going to be comfortable with this person? Is it that when I'm home and he gone to work and come back, him have smelly foot, cheesy foot, and his foot think, can I live with this for the rest of my life? He's ugly now. When you get older, how do I, you have some question that you really need to sit down and ask yourself if you are comfortable, right? Because not because you are interested in the person or the person is interested in you. There's a lot of do and don'ts, and there's a lot of likes and dislikes, right? So we have to bear that in mind, right? So as I said, wedding is the day of the celebration. We get together, family member, we eat, we cheer, we give you all the encouraging words. But the marriage is the union in which you and him and whoever else you get married to, you understand? Because when you're married, sometimes the person already have a child or children, so you have to ensure that you're married to those person as well. It's a union where you have to ensure that it's something that you can manage or you can handle, right? So that's one of the points that you need to consider talking to your fiance about, right? You're going to ask each other questions, right? When should we have the wedding? You just get engaged. Is it that you have enough funds to conduct the wedding? How is it that you need to ask that question, right? When should we have the wedding? So in that sense, you have a plan. You know how to move forward. In that sense, you're not going to do impulse, right? Because as I stated to them in the last session, that when you are thinking wedding, you have to be realistic. Wedding seems to be cheap. Wedding seems to be like wedding, but it's very expensive, right? So those questions, you need to ask those questions. And then, and those, yes, Camille, the cheesy food, because, that is something that you're in the bed, Yeah, so you have to wonder, you know, talk about that and see if you're comfortable living with that cheesy foot, right? So you need to discuss when is the wedding, right? And what you need to do is to ask your partner, what are you thinking? Because he might ask you to marry you, you know, but he's not ready. He might ask him to say, okay, then, you know, later down, or you're mine now and stuff like that. Give you a sense of security to say that, you know, we are together in this sense, but he's not ready for marriage, right? Because marriage is something that you have to prepare yourself for, right? So you need to find that out. You need to find out as well, what are you thinking? Because personally, sometimes we don't know right? Because you might live in with a partner for some time and you'd never know that you like this or you like that. I can talk of example, right? You know, my pastor always referred to us and said that when her husband was alive and she went to the supermarket, she always picking up things that he like. After he passed on, when she go to the supermarket, she don't know what to pick up, because guess what? She don't know she don't know what she like. So you need to find you and know what you want, what you like, and stuff like that, right? Hey, Jody. Yes, so you need to know, find out what you are thinking and what is it that your partner is thinking, right? Another question that you guys need to ask each other, where will it be? The venue. What type of wedding? Because you have two different personality, right? You have a person who would want to have it on a beach, to want to have a beach wedding, and you have the next set want to have a garden wedding. A garden wedding and a beach wedding. Oh my God, how are we going to work this one out? In that sense, you got to compromise, right? Where are we going to compromise? We're going to compromise it on the beach, or we're going to compromise it with the garden settings. At times we have clients like that, but what we do is to give them the pros and the cons for the beach wedding and give them the pros and the cons for the garden wedding. From there, after each of them go home, both parties go home, they will discuss whether or not they will do it they will do it as a garden wedding, or they'll do it on the beach. Well, that is question that you guys need to find out and need to ask and discuss before, right? There is also this question that we guys need to also find out and discuss as well. Where do you envision yourself after the wedding? For example, the honeymoon, right? Those are questions. It might and might not, because persons may have a small wedding and a big honeymoon. Some persons are very big on honeymoon, while others are saying that let us just have the wedding and at a later date we'll enjoy our honeymoon, right? You know, so it based on the individual, because you have different personalities and different settings as towards a wedding, right? So different persons want to have different ideas. They want to have a big 5-tier cake, while some want to have a 1-tier cake and a big bouquet and a broad gown. It based on the individual, right? As I said, we just give you these tips for you to look into so you can easy flow of planning your event, right? There's also this question that you need to ask. Do you want to keep it small? Meaning that you want to have a private wedding. Persons will say, okay, let us go to RGD, or let us do a small wedding. Or do you want to keep a big celebration? You have some people who really want everybody there, so they don't want to have a big celebration. The difference between the small and the big, all right, the difference between the small and the big, it's still a wedding. Whether it's small, it's a wedding, and whether it's big, it's a wedding, right? So don't misconceptualize what that is. The wedding is a wedding. Whether it's 5 people, which is the bride and the groom, the officiating officers, and the 2 witnesses, is still a wedding. You're still married. And whether it's 50 or 100 people, it's still a wedding, right? But you, the individual, must know persons that we dealt with. They were planning for the wedding 5 years ago. They've been engaged and how much years and they've been saving because this is what they want and how they want it. So it based on the person and personality. This is why it is very important for both party to sit down and discuss. Auntie Mavi? So this is why both persons must sit down, both parties sit down and discuss these questions and answer, right? At times you might not get all the question answered, but as I said, compromise is very big in a wedding. You got to compromise, right? So you would decide whether you want to have a small wedding. As I said, whether it's 5 people, it's a wedding, and whether it's 100 people, it's still a wedding. So it's based on what is it that you guys discuss, right, regarding the wedding. All right, so this is the time to sit down and answer one big question. As a bride to be and a groom to be, what do you want? Many times, numerous times, we have the client, and when they come, what do you want? I don't know. What do you want? He's saying, let she tell you what we want. And what do you want? He's saying, all right, you know, he or she, they're pointing again. You need to know what do you want when it's your wedding. Meaning that you must have an idea of what is it, because each individual know what is it, or have a dream wedding plan, right? So for example, you said that I want a twilight wedding. I need a beach wedding. Beach wedding come with the wind, it come with this, it come with different things, because a garden wedding is different from a beach wedding. Like you have traditional person would say, I want a wedding in the church, right? So you must know what is it that you want, and based on all of that, we the planner, the coordinator, we will flow based on that. That's how we execute, right? We cannot execute without ideas, because most times when you're blank, we are blank, we are there sitting down, our job is more difficult. Our job is like we have to be there asking your questions, the things that you guys should be already discussing between each other. We have to be there asking, to just to narrow it down a little and to help you. That's no problem with us. But what we are saying, try to know each person, try to know your partner before we even start doing the planning process, right? Yes, Jody. Yes, Jody. But sometimes based on where the beach is and the reception, Jody, we know weddings, you have to be in that sense, and you do it at a hotel where you can have it at the beach, and then we do the reception indoor. But if where you want to have the wedding, because bear in mind, Jody, if they want to have it up the hill, the view, right, and then to travel from Portmore, so you have to think about traveling, other expenses and costs going to be included in that. So sometimes that is a little hiccup where that is concerned. So they would have to compromise whether they want to have it at the beach or if they want to have it at the garden settings. All right. Yeah, so as I was saying, discuss these things. What we do, we put a checklist together. Once you reach out to us, we send you a checklist, or we would arrange a coordinator or a planner to meet with you on a one-on-one, and then list out a few things to you. What is it that is required from a wedding, and find out the personality that you have, so we can give you ideas and know how to execute on the day of the event, right? So we can have an easy flow, and then on the day of execution with our checklist, then it will be easy as 1, 2, 3, right? Is there any questions or concerns? You can send a message and we'll answer while we go along. while we go along, right? So as I was saying, we need to sit down, discuss, and have a good understanding. You also need to discuss when are we going to say to our parents, what is it, how are we going to say it, and stuff like that, because you have other persons who are involved in want to be involved in your wedding and want to be in the planning process as well. Not saying that they have all the rights to, but at least you give them an opportunity to be a part of it, because it's not everybody can be a part of the bridal party. So you give persons opportunities to have input in other different areas so that they don't feel left out. All right, so you might have a lot of siblings, brother and sister, or some good aunts or cousins, but you wouldn't be able to put everybody on the list, right? So what we normally recommend of different chores, you know, that you would different chores that you would ask each individual to carry out for you. And once you have a planner and a coordinator, that would be much better, because in that sense, whoever is allocated to do this and to do that, he or she would liaise with you, and then you'd liaise with the coordinator or the planner. Thank you, auntie, I get it from you. So we'd liaise with them. And for us, when we are doing an event, if we are conducting the planning and coordinating, not saying that we won't work with persons, but to an extent, because we have oftentimes you might hire us to do a job, and there's an auntie that do the same job, or a cousin, and they feel like okay, and most times it knocked us off, because different person, different personality. I might be a humble person, but my other co-workers or my other partners are not like that, because guess what, we know what to do, we know what was discussed with the couple, right? There are expectations, of what is it that they want us to do. Good night Felicia, good night. There are expectations what you want us to do, and we would already prepared for you based on what was discussed, based on the services that was paid for, and we will render and execute just the same, right? We'll execute just the same. Thank you, mother. I will all right, so that is what we really wanted to discuss tonight. As I said, that we have more than one points that we're going through. We're going to also go through the checklist, but when we reach to that point, then we'll discuss the checklist so you guys can have a better understanding, right? You can also send us a message by email, you can WhatsApp us, you can call us, or you can DM us on Instagram. We also have a YouTube channel, so you can go Ambiance Boutiques, you can follow us, and you can subscribe, and like our photos. We do videos and stuff like that. We do from setting up to breaking down of the event. You can look on our product and our services that we do offer. We here at Ambiance, we do rentals as well, so if you need any items, for example, we are not doing the full service of decorating or coordinating, or we do rentals of items. So you can send us a message, or you can call us. What we normally recommend persons to do is to book us in advance, because our calendar is very full. When I say full, we are very full, because we do services all island. We do service Montego Bay, we do service Portland, Clarendon, so we're all over. Yes, it's a team of us, and based on the person that dealt with an individual, that is a person that is going to lead the team, and that is a person would choose who is it that they would want to work with, right? So it's a team of us, And we do from planning, coordinating, decorating. We do floral arrangements. As I said, we do rentals, we do the invitations, we do souvenirs, we do cakes. We also do cake tasting, which is one of our big thing. And we provide like signs and stuff like that. We rent tables and chairs. So whatever services that you need for your weddings or your parties, we do provide those services. And we can be reached, as I said, you can email us at ambianceboutique7@gmail. You can call us, whether straight or WhatsApp, and 320-8508. Somebody can pin it for me, or somebody can post it and then I'll pin it. Or you can reach us on Instagram, where you can DM us, Instagram or Facebook. That's Ambience Boutique 7. And we also have a YouTube channel. You can go over to our YouTube page, which is Ambience Boutique, and you can subscribe. You'll see our videos, you'll see our breakdown, our setting up. You'll see us up and about in doing our we soon come to London. We're working on that one. As soon as London is open, then we'll try and see if they will allow us to come to London. All right, because we want to do one big one in London, you know. All right. Yes, so we are trying to spread our wings, because persons from small island, you know, contacting us, but we're just, this COVID thing is kind of a little bit of an, you know, so we have to be careful of what we do and how we do it, right? So yeah, Ambience Boutique, and we are always, it's always a pleasure, and we have a passion, especially myself. We have a passion for it. So when doing the job, we execute to the best of our ability. We believe that we know that we can do it, and we always do it. As I said, if you follow our YouTube, you'll see our clients review, and I can tell you, looking in your eyes straight, been in the business from 2018 to today date, we haven't got that client who was disgruntled. If there was an hiccup, we try and fix it on the spot, or we try to find something to compromise. Yes, Jody, tell them, me girl. Definitely we provide all the services, Jode. So there's never an hiccup, and we have reliable staff, professional. When we talk about professional, we have that luck. And when we talk about people person, because really and truly, I am that person who is very on the job or meeting a client, because most time they will say that, you know, they don't know how I do it. Because guess what? Most of our clients are available anytime after 7 in the night, because persons go to work throughout the course of the day. And if you have a 9 to 5 and to plan a wedding, it's not easy. So I am always up. I work mainly in the night. That's when my thinking box works. So after discussing with my clients, doing my planning and coordinating, I have to draw it in my head first, draw it on the paper, and then write it in my book, right? So that's how we work. And as we said, we have a team, and when where we see that we won't be able to execute, you draw the next person and say, hey, this is what we're having now. And we have a lot of connections with other planners and decorators and coordinators, because we do mingling and we do social with other persons, so we can get ideas, tips and insight from them how to proceed. My Instagram page is Ambience Boutique 7. Hey Pauline. So it's AMBIANCE BOUTIQUE 7. So, and our YouTube page is Ambience Boutique. So you'll see the videos and stuff like that on it, right? And or you Instagram is linked with her Facebook as well. So once you like us on Facebook, so like our ambience business page on Facebook, then it'll definitely take you to the Instagram as well. All right. And what we normally said to persons, feel free to call us to ask any question or if there's any concern whether or not we are doing your event. We're here to assist, right? So don't be hesitant of asking any questions or sending us an email. You can do that. We do packages for small, medium, and large. So you let us know which of the packages that you'd want to work with. We customize packages for you as well. So you would contact us and then we'll discuss, talk, find out what your budget like. We also assist in doing budgeting. Because persons, when they're doing budget on their own, for example, they said is 150,000 they have for 100 people. That is not realistic. So what we do, we give you guys the opportunity to help you do a budget. So the budget will include everything from planning and everything, the day of the wedding, after to the honeymoon and stuff like that. We also recommend give you dates or time of the year that, you know, weddings. But once you have your wedding date, months and stuff, persons have reasons behind that. So, you know, we don't really push you to say that you have to work with our dates and stuff, but we give you pros and cons and we bring you through the process. All right. Is there any question? Or did you get anything from... Hey, cutie. Walk on, girl. Yes, so if there's any question, you can send it and I'll reply to the question. I'll answer back to your question. And then thank you, Jody. Thank you, Jody. Thank you, my very beloved worker. Thank you. Yes, we are. Thank you. All right. We know what it is like to work with somebody, so we know how to. We know what is it that is expected. I've been in the marriage business for 6 years now. I've been married for 6 years, so I know what it is like to before and after or during the marriage. So you know, I know persons normally. I never yet talked to a client that declined. Why? Because when I talk with experience. I talk with what I know, what I've been through and stuff like that. So persons are very comfortable when I'm talking to them. Why? Because I can tell them the do and the don'ts. I can tell them the likes and the dislikes and stuff like that. And based on my my encouragement, they would take advice and then they will, whether or not they will top in or they would add to that. Right? Hey, Rochelle. Good night to you all. Good night, and thank you guys for taking the time out to listen us. And we normally do our lives on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, right? And our live starts at 7 p.m. Sometimes it's an hour. Sometimes it can be less based on the interactive and what if there's any questions or concerns. Because what I try to do, each live we discuss one topic, right? So persons can get, I'm not going to tell you everything the same night so that it will fly away like that. So what we normally do is to discuss one topic and ask guys if you have any questions or concern. You guys can also share this live as well, so other persons, it can be helpful to other people and persons who are planning their wedding or planning to get married soon, right? As I mentioned early on, we do planning, coordinating, decorating, rentals, stationaries. Once it is wedding or events, we do it, right? At the moment as we speak, we don't have a personal venue for ourselves, but that is in the making. We're planning, we're working on something. Not sure if it would work out soon, but definitely we're working on it so we can have a venue for ourselves where we do everything. So it would be just a one-stop shop, right? But by the help of Almighty God, we know that we will reach that or cross that hurdle, right? I want to say thank you guys again. It is my pleasure to be on tonight to educate you guys on a helpful tip about discussing with your fiance once you're engaged, and what are the things that you need, some of the things that you need to discuss. Right? Is there any question? Is there any question? Is anybody want to join me on the, Jody, do you want to join me on the live? Who want to join me on the live? Who want to join me on the live can send send me a message. Cute, you want to join me on the live? All right. Everybody shine away. Nobody want to join me on the live. Coming next week. I am doing great, my dear. I missed you so much. I missed you. I missed you. I missed your stew piece too. You know, but I am trying at home to get it as good like you. How are you doing? Yeah. So, nobody want to join me on the live? I'm about to go then if nobody wants to join me on the live. Because I'm just here talking and nobody asking any questions or anything. So, share, and like, please. Please share it with your friends and your colleagues. Please share it so it can be circulating the Facebook so persons can see it. All right. All right. Okay. All right then, so let me just recap on what is it that I just discussed, and then if there's no question, then okay, Jody. All right, no problem. All right, so we have discussed tonight that talking to your fiance, and the things that you need to talk to your fiance after you got engaged is that to communicate. You guys communicate a lot with each other before discussing details with other person. Communicate meaning that remember that wedding and marriage is two different things. Wedding is a day of celebration, the gathering, persons come together to celebrate with you, to give you good words of encouragement and inspirations, while the marriage is the union of both of you guys going into forever till death do us part, right? So the wedding is the celebration and the marriage is the union, right? You also need to ask each other questions. Question you would ask is, when should we have the wedding, right? You would ask, what are you thinking about the wedding, or what are you thinking, moving forward? And you should ask, where do you envision the wedding? Oh yes, I can provide pastor too, officiating officer. Thank you, Jody. How do I forget that? I am so sorry. And he will do counseling session as well. And he is a United pastor like myself. I am a United member. He's a United pastor. All right, because persons normally ask what denomination. He's a United pastor, United church pastor. All right. So what are you thinking? So those are the questions that you need to ask. Where will it be? For example, the venue. So you'll choose whether it's a garden settings or it's a beach wedding, or it's indoor. You want to host it at your church. Persons have different thinking of that. If persons do at their home as well, so you discuss where you'd want the wedding to be, right? Where do you envision the wedding? So that's where you discuss where that would be. All right. Do you want to keep it small, or do you want to have a big celebration? To keep it small, it can be if you want to keep it small, it can be, for example, 5 people, which is the bride and the groom, the officiating officer, and the 2 witnesses, right? Or if you want to keep it a big wedding, to say 50 people and stuff like that. As I often said to our couple, whether it's 5 people or 50 people, it's still a wedding. Wedding is a wedding. Once you're married, it's a wedding, right? Is how you take of it and what you take of it, because you still can get your nice makeup done, have your bouquets and stuff like that. Yes, we do rental of bouquets and stuff too, so persons that doing a small wedding will rent their bouquets and things like that, and then return it after they finish in the afternoon, right? So you need to discuss whether you want to have something small or something big. Persons normally like to have their family members and friend persons traveling from near and far, from overseas, or persons from far countries, local, it based on the individual. Most of our weddings, though, I can be honest with you, are international, where persons are overseas. We haven't met them until like 2-3 days before the event. That's when you're seeing them face to face, right? So what we normally do, we do WhatsApp. We talk on WhatsApp and stuff like that. We email like payment slips and stuff like that. Keep it professional, because we are a registered business, right? So keep it professional, and to ensure that persons are sure that we are legit and reliable, right? This is the time to sit down and answer one big question: what do you want? That is the biggest question between the fiancés, the 2 parties that is going to get married. What do you want? They need to sit down and discuss. So he would write down what he want, and she would write down what she want. Both of them discuss and merge them together, right? So that's where it said that you would ask the question, what do you want? So those are the points that we discussed tonight. And if there's no other questions or concern, what we will do is to wrap up our live for today, and then on Friday again we'll be live with another topic, because what persons do is to take notes. And what you can also get a face-to-face or first face-to-face meeting would be free of cost, where we sit down and discuss. After there, once you are willing to move forward with us, then we'll send our policies and guidelines, our terms and payment and conditions, so we can take it from there. As I said early on, most of our dates are gone for 2021. We're booking for 2022 now. So persons need to send us message and reach out to us, so we can put them in our calendars. Appointments are between the days Mondays to Friday, between the hours of 10 and 2 p.m. If it's have to be later, based on persons who work 9 to 5, we normally try and accommodate them. But between the hours of 10 and 2, Mondays to Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays mainly are busy day. But if we're having an event during the week, then those dates would be blocked out for appointments. It was my pleasure being here with you. As I said earlier, and I am Tashana Brown O'Connor, the founder and operator of Ambience Boutique, along with other family members. But I am the one who is mainly doing the live sessions, right? It's my pleasure to be on tonight to educate you guys on the point of talking to your fiancé after being engaged. So on Friday we will discuss more, and the weeks to come we're going to have our guest speaker on as well, one of our very own, and they are very recognized. So she will be on with us, but we'll send out our flyers, or we'll let you guys know, so you can tap in and hear from other persons and perspectives, right? And that is going to be very interesting for persons who are planning to get married soon, or if you do have a family member. All right, please share, like and comments, And then, as I said, we have a YouTube page. Go over on YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube. Follow our Instagram, which is Ambience Boutique 7. If there's any questions or concern, please feel free to send us a WhatsApp message, WhatsApp call, or DM us. Our WhatsApp number is 3208005. All right, so you can send us a message. Once you look up on Google as well, Ambience Boutique, you'll see us pop up because we are registered, so you'll see our information, our website and stuff like that. Thank you guys for being with us tonight. It was my pleasure to educate you guys on talking to your fiance after getting engaged. As I said, coming on Friday we'll have a next topic, and then we can discuss. All right, so thank you all. Thank you, Jody. Thank you, Judy. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, my mother. Thank you, Auntie. Thank you. This is looking like Brandy. Thank you, Brandy. Thank you, Tamara. Thank you, Rochelle. I am my cousin Steve. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. Hi, Pauline. Thank you all for being online. Just share it for me. Share it, like it, comment, and then you'll get more from us. All right. It was my pleasure being here talking to you tonight. So peace out. Have a good night. God bless. Bye.